It's been a while since I did a video. I think I only did one video of this game, actually, maybe two. But, know a good bit more about the game now that I've played it some. I think I've played it, I don't know, 3-4 weeks now. I'm more towards the end game, if not, in the end game. There are some people that are rank 13. But, actually, that's a good one. I was hoping something like that would come up during this video. Perfect. Just to kind of show a bit. These are some of the co-op things that you can do with people. And this particular co-op, we'll get more into it after this here. But, with the latest season that they just started last week, it's somewhat imperative that you upgrade your fleet. And this particular side quest, you get pretty good chance of getting what's called the Royal Custodian. It's armor, and it's not the highest level armor, but it's pretty darn close. And so it's good for, I got the fleet outfitted almost all with the Royal Custodian besides the ships that I play. This particular ship is called the, I think this is the Sambuck. And it is a blast, literally. It's good with explosives and fire. And a pretty good range. They tore my sails up so I can't move. Now I can. It's a DPS ship though, I like it quite a bit. You notice there's a green bar in the lower center, that's my stamina. It goes down while at trim sail, which is full sail. It's green in the lower right there. They're taking out my sails again. I think there's one other guy here with me. Yeah, he's up front there. The quest guys have a blue marker above them. Other players will have their name above them like that. Lou guy there. Anyway, let's get to it. Help out. We only have a certain distance before these guys finish their voyage, and we don't get a shot at their loot, so we have to kill them somewhat quickly, expeditiously. Gotta remember to use that more often. There we go, we got one. Oh, bother. See, there's the Royal Custodian from just one of them. I've got up to 3 from each one. There's 3 quest guys. I've gotten up to 3. Oop, aim too high. Keep taking out my sails. Trying to keep up. With these high waves, I tend to try to keep closer. It's harder to actually aim and see them. And okay, I didn't get one from that, but got the treasure chests. Oop, hello. Come on now. Come a little closer. Oh, they did end up hitting me. That buoy that I keep throwing out, which is also an addition from this season, a new weapon. It's like it lays out a minefield for one, but this particular one that I have equipped, if you destroy it, it does extra damage and it sets them ablaze, which does fire damage over time. Such as that. I think actually, and then when they actually hit the buoy, I think it also explodes it. And now we can book it. I think it might actually be closer to Kokok Terrapung. The guy kept shadowing me. Get out of here. Oh no, return fleet light. We'll head there. I don't know if the physics are totally realistic in this. I don't know if these wooden ships were catching this much air off a high crest. But yeah, that was just the play style of this ship. I like it so much, actually. Some of the other, just the support ships and whatnot, I tend to use a bombard. That's the type of weapon that I've been using on this. It lobs shells, or bombards them. There's also regular cannons, and And besides that buoy launcher spring loader that I was using, there's mortars and rockets as well for the auxiliary weapon. So can't throw treasure maps in the bank. Oh, it's actually good I got one of those because I wanted to. After my earlier video, or my first video, I of course learned some things about those treasure maps. It's not always in the same spot. The location of the treasure chest. So you kind of have to, or of course, the map leads to different locations, but even on those islands, when you're running around looking at treasure chests, not always in the same spot. So you kind of have to run around to or learn all the locations where treasure chests can be, and just try to hit each one until you actually find it. At least that's what I've found so far. I don't know if there's a way to know exactly which one. I mean, it kind of shows you which ones. Well, here, I'll show you actually. This one, up in the upper right, kind of shows you, okay, I'm looking for, it's going to be buried by a tree with a rapier sticking out of it, or saber, whatever the heck that is. Saber. Longsword, cutlass. Anyway, cutlass is more curved, I believe. We want to open that. So you also get some loot from those chests, besides that. Oh, can't throw that in there. Royal Custodian armor, which is kind of why I like doing that. Besides the extra, I get pieces of 8, which I'll get to in a moment as well. But let's do this real quick. So the other thing I learned about these treasure maps, this photo here is, I did not put it together right at first, but at each of the fast travel locations, they have that zippy icon, double arrow icon there. That's a dock that you can fast travel to. In the name there, in the toolbar, tooltip thing to the right there, there's a photo, and that photo actually is the same photo. Oh, actually, there's a quicker way I want to see on the map. That's the same photo. It's on the map here. So I'm looking for, I don't know, looks like a port. Oh, aren't they all? Got ramparts and Lord of the Rings looking light tower thing in the lower left. Oh, and you want another thing? East Indies, northwest of Tilak Panjara. Oh. Yeah, that's actually it right there. Bucket candy. Bucket candy. Being 637, climbing at least. Holy cow. Treasure is in this outpost, I guess, right. So, I tend to, most efficient way really. Okay, thank you, PS. Besides knowing where, and there's so many locations that I haven't memorized where, you know, the tree with a saber going through it's at, you know. So until I memorize, or who would memorize, maybe there's a guide somewhere, but I haven't found it yet. I kind of just do a logical sweeping pattern, so I kind of just hug the right, always go right until I spot it, or spot a location that tends to look like a treasure location. And it glows orange, so you tend to spot it somewhat easily. And there's a sound, usually not near the pirate bonfire, but there could be a path that leads past the bonfire. Still check anyway. Could always prove me wrong one day, just because I'm assuming. I do not like to assume. Oh, nothing up there. Alright, cleared. Plug the right. Usually nothing in the center of a camp, and sadly you run. I do like mortars.
Tell me your pockets are quite deep, Capitan.
Indeed. There. You can kind of hear it, I think. I don't know if you can hear that. There's music. Angelic, harmonic. It was there. There. Hey, look. The hilt in a tree. They're sticking out of the tree. Anyway, that's how those treasure maps work, but they're always in different locations. Ooh, look at that. It's kind of like a completionist thing, these newspapers and books and whatnot. Anyway, I think I have to be getting pretty close. So 3 minutes, yes. So towards the end game, you'll unlock the helm, and they'll tell you about these manufactories that you can take over and eventually start a production at. And they generate these pieces of 8, and it's kind of like the end game currency besides the special end game currency, the sovereigns, which you get for climbing in the leaderboard tiers and whatnot. Excuse me. Yeah, so I have a couple minutes to explain it. You start out with even when you start the game, this is your starting region, the Red Isles, or Red Isle, excuse me. And it's also your starting region for the helm, so you end up kind of building or taking over the factories in this area first, building your empire. Then you can choose to either go to the coast of Africa or the East Indies from that point, or both if you want, and kind of go from there. Let's see, I can get there quickly. And there's 2 main ports, Teluk Penjara and St. Anne. And each one you have your own little smuggler's den here. And your Helm Empire overview. I was coming here, to show the upgrades. Eventually, or as you're building your empire, it costs those pieces of 8 to get these upgrades. And they increase the efficiency of those manufactories and lower their costs to get them going. They cost silver to get them building their pieces of 8 over time. But one of the mechanics of the game, I don't know, it's kind of wonky, and I also don't like how you're kind of forced to do PvP. You know, for a casual player, I don't really like doing PvP, but I actually do pretty well for not liking it. But sometimes I'm glad that with this season they added a buyout function, so you can actually just buy it, but it's kind of hit and miss when it's available. They did add a co-op quest, a legendary heist that you can do co-op instead of PvE. And see that, and I'm glad it kind of, well, not really glad because I want to grow my empire, but these are hostile takeovers, and that's what you do to attempt to gain access to these manufactories. These are ones I don't have access or haven't taken yet, and the only way you can get them is by these hostile takeovers. This is the co-op one, the legendary heist. But one of the things that, as I was going to say eventually, the reward is usually, I've noticed it's almost always a location here in the Red Isle. It's hardly ever anything in the coast of Africa or East Indies, and so that's kind of frustrating. There's no way to co-op build your empire in these other areas. I wish there was at least, maybe one of these legendary heists for each area at each 30-minute opportunity. You'll notice in the lower left, the next opportunity is in 30 minutes, so this happens twice an hour. And so kind of frustrating. You have to. I can't really build my. I mean, it looks like I've built a lot, of course, but this is over time and with luck, fighting against some other people. But like I said, they did add this legendary heist, so that helped building this area at least quickly. And they added a buyout function. They did, and like I was saying, it's kind of sporadic, intermittent. It's not every round, so I kind of wish it would happen a little more often. But yeah, it is what it is. Maybe they'll see this video and take the feedback for what it is. Besides, there's a few other things that like I wish there. So there's this little dock icon, and like I was saying earlier, you build a fleet eventually towards the end game here, and I have them waiting, or not intentionally per se, and that's kind of one of the things I wanted to suggest is you can go to each one of these individually, switch over and unassign the ship, and assign it elsewhere, just have it in reserve, or like while they're docked at a manufactory like that, you can't adjust their equipment or anything like that. So it's a dual suggestion, or a thing I wish they had, is either you could go to a management screen where you can, without having to take each one of these off the dock, and then besides having to undock it from these, you also have to switch your ship that you're currently in to that ship. And so when they're out of manufacturing, like I'm trying to switch them right now, I'm actually clicking, you can't switch to them, so there's not even an option to take them out of the manufacturer they're assigned to adjust their equipment. So you have to go back to that other screen, find their manufactory, unassign them, and it can get kind of tedious sometimes. But I wish there was either an unassign all function when you're on this helm screen here. Wish there was just an unassign all for the ships, or have the option to be able to look at their equipment, adjust their equipment, move it around and whatnot while they're docked at these locations. But yeah, as it is, tend to have to go in and unassign each one, and can get quite tedious. At least, to be fair, if they are assigned to another manufactory, like this one for example, you can reassign it. Lower center there. You can reassign it, so there is that. They did take at least that tediousness out of it. But as I said, say I wanted to upgrade these lower tier ones, because I know I need to upgrade their weapons, and unless they're unassigned, I have to go and find them. It's a little easy to find them, knowing they're tier 7, but some of these I have to really cycle through and find the one, that I'm looking for specifically, that I took a piece of equipment off when I reassigned it to this ship that I'm currently at. That's all jargon or blah blah. Anyway, Yeah, so suggestion would be able to adjust that. Um, but yeah, that's kind of the end game stuff here. You end up getting these pieces of 8. They're somewhat end up becoming frivolous. They at least with this season they did. You have to upgrade your ships, and I did notice now that they're starting to cost pieces of 8 to upgrade the ship as well. So not as frivolous now. But the other requirements for, and that's kind of another gripe right now for the new season. Hopefully they're going to adjust it. I think other people are complaining
Always
about
a
it as well.
pleasure to wait
I'll get
on
to it in a
you.
moment, but the upgrades are quite expensive. But the other thing you use Piece of 8 for, there's two different, well, actually, they basically sell the same stuff, so. Um, but there's two vendors you can go to that
Don't
sell stuff
dally.
for Piece of 8. And I guess one of my gripes is it's kind of low level stuff. I wouldn't mind paying more Pieces of 8 for higher tier stuff, but they cap out at tier 2. And currently I have tier 3 uh, epic, this purple stuff, as opposed to rare, uncommon, and then your base is going to be like this gray background. Anyway, um, but and then even within those tiers, you can have a level 1, for example, and you can have a level 2 or a level 3. But yeah, they only sell up to level 2 here. That's another. I don't know. They're maybe trying to limit progression a little bit. You have to actually craft it. And then the thing is, eventually the crafting components are not too expensive. Besides, they do
Make
have a
it quick.
special component requirement. It's somewhat easy to get those towards the end game, though. So, or you can actually, yeah, they're up here. You can buy them. So even that becomes somewhat moot. Um, I don't know why we can't just have a little more expensive, maybe 5,000 gold piece of 8, excuse me. And anyway, but yeah, you can buy stuff with the piece of 8. I haven't got to that yet because I'm in Empire building mode. I'm gonna, max out the Empire because I'm trying to top out on the
Good wishes.
leaderboards as quickly as I can. 600, getting 600th place is not too bad for, when they restarted, they reset everything for with this season too, but they did allow veterans, to carry over 300,000 pieces of 8. So that is quite a boost for when you're upgrading your stuff here. Um, Having be able to carry over 300,000 really gives you a head start in building your empire. So, point being, those that were able to carry over 300,000,
Always
I was only able
welcome.
to carry. I kind of got into it like the last week and a half, 2 weeks of the first season. So I didn't. Once I got to end game, I didn't have much time to build my empire. So I only end up carrying over like 25,000 pieces of 8, which not bad. I was able to get this started quite quickly, but the upgrades, they did allow you to carry this over. At least that was cool. Really appreciated that. But everything else, yeah, I didn't have, and they get quite spendy. But I didn't have that boost that others may have been able to get the initial efficiency boost to have a higher pieces of 8 per hour production. And that's kind of what the point is of upgrading these, is to get higher per hour, as you can see there. So those that had more of the pieces of 8 carried over had a greater chance of on these leaderboard, or getting a boost on these leaderboards. At least with the seasonal, even with the weekly, if they had the efficiency boost with their manufactories, they were able to have the boost. But so, eh, I guess I'm trying to justify saying 639th place is not too bad, but I mean, in the grand scheme, yeah, it's not bad, but it could be better. It always could be better. But as you see there, I've already got to the diamond rank for the season, and got all the sovereigns I can get. I wish there was a way to still build more sovereigns. Um, they help you get these, I'll show you, but I wish I could get more sovereigns because I
To
like
what do
collecting,
I owe this mild pleasure?
I like collecting the cosmetic stuff. I wish I could get both cosmetic stuff, and they do have some higher tier furniture and weapons
This
that
better
cost
be
sovereigns.
worth my
But
while.
the 3,100 sovereigns I have there, I did buy a few of these weapons already. Um, those 3,100 sovereigns are all I have. Almost 32, I guess. Let's round up. Be positive. But Captain cosmetics aren't too expensive on those. They're 100 apiece. But you get to the ship cosmetics, and they are. There's one, yeah, 450. This one's 1,000. I think there was another one that was like 1,500 just for the crew cosmetics. It's 300, 300. So it's like if I want to deck out my ship, making my ship, which it does look cool. That's why I'm debating: do I get more weapons, or because there's no other way I've noticed to build these sovereigns besides the weekly leaderboard
Fine.
stuff, but only get like 500 sovereigns from that, I think. Anyway, I mean, there is more to the game than all this, just this area I'm showing you here, but wanted to kind of showcase the what you're looking at least in the part of the end game. There's also, I wish more of it popped up. I kind of did show you that convoy that you can do in the beginning of this video. um, but there's also, excuse me. So yeah, there's these convoys that you can do in groups with people. I wish there was more co-op things to do. Oh, I guess another suggestion that I wish with these. So this is kind of, you can call for help in the tooltip to the right there. Oop, I didn't know. But yeah, you can call for help, which kind of indicates to other people that are playing in this server, this world, that you're gonna at least be doing it, or in theory. And what kind of sucks about it is, even me being somebody, not calling for help like that, um, I could be in the middle of doing something and I see that, and I'll be over here, and that's kind of in the ship I'm in. It's 3 minutes away from this port or this port or this port, and that's 3 minutes just to be able to quick travel to the nearest one, and then I still have to travel over there. So I'm looking at 5 minutes just to get there, and that's if I'm not in the middle of something really important. One of the things they added in this second season is a defense mechanism for these manufactories. Every now and then, one gets attacked, and you have to defend it to maintain its production capacity. Otherwise, if you lose or don't defend it, it shuts down for a certain amount of time, depending on what level it is, what tier level it is. But yeah, dang, I forgot what I was getting at with that. Something about the manufactories. Oh yeah, you can be in the middle of doing that, and that takes 10 minutes while you're in the middle of doing that. Or there's a specified, I think, like 8 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. So you could be in the middle of doing that. I mean, that kind of doesn't really illustrate the point. You're going to want to stay there and do that instead of getting to what my suggestion is here. I wish there was, if you or somebody else called for help, I wish there was kind of a quick travel option that would put you, maybe 1,000, 2,000 meters within range of it. And that might be more because one of the complaints from people is that there's not enough people that show up, and me being in the middle of harvesting and farming or gathering or just plundering these locations, or just out plundering ships. It could take me a moment, and it would be, if I'm in the middle of doing something just random like that, it'd be cool to just join them really quick, as opposed to missing out on it, because sometimes you get there in 5 minutes and they already started and it's finished, or they left because nobody showed up in time and they got tired of waiting. If it was a little more immediate with people showing up that wanted to show up, you might see more people show up for those events. But besides these convoys, there's also elite warships that will spawn from time to time. There's this ghost ship. Actually, I kind of have to do it. I'll just end the video with it. Maybe show another ship too. Oh, kind of illustrate the point that I think almost all of my ships are in the manufactory, so I need to find out where. What else could I do it with? Let's do the Brigantine. Where's it at? Oh, it's not even gonna tell me which manufactory it's at. God darn it. Kind of want to showcase another ship. Let's see, where is... So yeah, this kind of illustrates my point. You have to hover over each one of these to know what's docked there. There we go. I'm looking for Vengeance or Catterley. Actually, you know what? They're probably over... the Tigre. Watching me in the Red Isle where I was. This illustrates there. Okay, we'll go with that one. This illustrates my point, though. I wish there was an unassign all button or some kind of fleet management to where I can just unassign it from the fleet management screen, and there's currently not that option. Or, when you're on this screen here, I wish you could unassign it. That would make sense. If not a fleet management screen where you can equip and unequip stuff. But a fleet management screen where you can do that and unassign and so on, that would be great. Perfect. Even have an unassign all function there. That'd be great. Anyway, let's go to Vengeance. I haven't upgraded this one either, so it'll be kinda... might be a little slower. What was I going to do? Not La Peste. Ooh, no. Let's see. Oh, we could do a rogue hunt. Let's do a rogue hunt. What kind of weapons do I need? Cannonballs and mortar shells. Mortar bombs. Well, we'll just leave those. Ship has quite a bit of cargo space. And get some more mortar. There we are. anything else? I don't think so. Get everything got everything I need for that loadout, and then where am I? Okay, perfect. Yeah. If we can't do, oh, we could do those two. So, oh, actually, that was one of the things I was going to get at, and then kind of an important thing. Whether you do the piece to 8 or not, at first you're going to be kind of hurting for silver, but one of the things I learned, the quick way to build silver is once you hit, I think it's when you hit Kingpin rank, the last rank that you can get as you're leveling up your ranks. Once you hit the Kingpin rank, you unlock the Helm, and one of the things you can do here at the Helm is process sugarcane, poppy. Oh dang, I won't be able to show because I'm in the middle of processing something. Here I'm processing poppy into Black Lotus opium. No, it processes into Blue Lotus opium, and what I'm actually doing is the most profitable level I discovered, doing the math and everything. You initially process it into Blue Lotus opium, and the next level is this Black Lotus opium. It takes 2 of those Blue Lotus opium to make 1, but it is still more profitable processing it, selling it this way. But yeah, you process this stuff, and you can sell it for really high amounts of silver, and you build your silver really quickly. So, eventually silver becomes a non-issue for when you need to fund your manufactories here, and get them making. It costs, you can't see it, it says funded for 15 hours at the bottom there, but it costs to fund it for that time, and that's part of the upgrades too. Ooh, oh, I was like, am I bugged? No, it's because I'm in that screen there. It's part of the upgrades too, is it reduces how much it costs in each of those each of these areas. The other limitation there is, and it was quite expensive getting to this level, but they limit how many manufactories you can get at the beginning in this season as well, and you have to expand it by spending those pieces of 8. So that was another thing that kind of limited me in expanding my empire in the beginning. There was, I kind of put a priority on building up to these, at first it was like 16 or 12, and then 16. 12, yeah. Maybe even 8. Yeah, 10. Yeah, so, I kind of focused on upgrading this as well as the starting area, because it reduces the cost of your starting area and how much you produce per hour. So it was kind of imperative to get this to expand the empire quickly. Besides this stuff, when I was in season 1 at the tail end there, it was quite important to be able to produce certain things. But that was a boon. Anyway, what I was going to do is a hunt. Oh, or I don't necessarily have to do it, or to illustrate, but you come to this supply network here, and this is how you get the poppy and juniper berries and tobacco leaves and sugarcane that you produce in the distillery and the den there, the opium den. So you do these little quests. You do these little quests to get your pieces of 8. or to get your stuff reducing contraband for selling for silver to produce your piece of 8. It's all a big production chain. And one of the things I learned is if you get the one contract that's on land, you can only get 7 of those helm contracts at a time. I think those are 6. So it kind of sucks. I don't like that they limit it like that when you can just do things like this. I thought it was over here. Oh yeah, there we go.
What brings an esteemed captain into this shore?
Papa.
And you can just accept the next contract here. So what I learned is the contract that you accept on land here, the land contracts I call them, land liaison contracts. When you complete them, you can actually just accept the other one that they have when you cap out. You know, it was available, and so now I can just complete it while I'm here. It's kind of, kind of proves my point. It's silly that they cap how many of those quests you can have. I kind of get it, because one of the things you can do is just I haven't figured out how often these re-up. I think they are an hour from the time that you first accept one of these contracts, or maybe it's every hour on the hour, but I've noticed sometimes it's not every hour on the hour. So I've been trying to figure out how often these re-up, or what the time cycle is. But anyway, I can see why they would limit it, because maybe you could stack these quests here, these fort plunders, and eventually, get the easier ones and just go plunder the fort once to save time. I don't know, maybe that's why they limit it. Another thing is it could be too heavy if you have too many of these. So you can see that's going to have 16,400 weight, I like to call it, in the cargo. And this ship actually has quite a large hold with 80,000, but
Take care.
the other area is over here by Eden Michelle. One of the things I dislike is, I think that's the vendor right there. He's being harassed. Yeah, he's being harassed by these compagnie, or these Chorus fleet guys. Yeah. And so I can't complete this quest while they're messing with him. I don't like cannon. I'm not as good at the cannons as I am the bombard. Yet. One of the things I wish, like I was shown with the Sovereign weapons there, the higher tier weapons, they kind of limit how many you can get by the Sovereign cap. But one of the things I wish they had is bombards. They have these cannonades that I have on the sides. They're higher tier. Oh no, did he kill it? He killed it. God darn it. That's another thing, is people just kill the Helm Liaison, and now I have to wait until it respawns to be able to complete the quest. Love it. And then, oh hey, there's the manufacturing defense thing I was talking about. You have like 15 or 25 minutes to get there. Luckily, I like it. good thing. In case you're in the middle of something, they give you time to get there. But, yeah, kind of sucks. I have to sit here and wait until that Helm Liaison respawns. To be able to finish the quest. So the benefit of this ship, one of the, oh yeah, and that's also the armor I have on it too. It sends out a shockwave you build up based on how long you've been bracing. Increase the range and damage. Oh, is that? No, that's a person. Yeah. The heck are you guys on about? There ain't nobody there. Black sails. I wish. Bring it. Anyway, you're talking about me? I kind of have black sails. Oh. Oh, and I also have the longs on this, I think. Yeah. Those are, I have the long range cannons, the new ones they have for this season. But you can't build them, it sucks. Or craft them. So whip. Oh, well, hello. See, one, what the heck? One shoots low, the other shoots high. I'm not as much of a fan of this ship. Oh yeah. So, one of the things that I was going to say about this ship is it has insane bracing strength. So it's a tank. So you can kind of time when they, you know, I'm not really timing it well there, but I just wanted to illustrate. Oh dang, I didn't want to loot that. Now they're going to be after me. There's some things that you loot that send the ships after you. Or make more ships spawn when they come after you. So hopefully close enough to the port I can... no, dang, he spawns right there. And if you're in combat, you can't leave, or you can't disembark. Ooh. I was able to, nice. Let me get rid of that thing that I looted. Which, I don't know why I'm able to loot it right now, because there's no use for it right now that I've found yet. Maybe further along in the season. Hopefully that helm ship is out there this time. That sucks. Kind of illustrates my point. You know, I'm glad they're illustrating a lot of my gripes. Like, nobody, you know, not just myself, but anybody else that wants to do that quest. Can't do that quest now. Should spawn out here. Yeah, there we go. That's the other thing. It doesn't show up on the map like it used to. Ooh, I need to do that. It's close by usually. Yeah. I don't like this ship for that. kind of wanted to illustrate, another ship though. Well, I'm not gonna get a chance to do that quest or illustrate that quest. So I need to switch ships to do this other quest, and I'm coming to the end of the time to do videos here. It looks like another hour-long video. Well, let's see. Maybe I might be able to get there in time. Downside about this tank ship, like tanks in other games, it is slow. Because it's beefy. Oh, dang it, I need to do that too. Ah, darn it. See, and that's another sucky thing. Like, I want to do that group. Actually, that was the point that I made earlier. Is you can be in the middle of one of those defenses and want to join somebody, and you can't. So yeah, now I'm in combat. Whatever. I didn't even try to attack anybody. See, I'm stuck here. That's wonderful. Lame. Glad it was a wide enough area I could turn around in. The fact that I'm stuck in combat when I'm not fighting anybody. Like, why? Just because you saw me? Like, this is so annoying. Like, just take me out of combat. This is not my optimal ship to be fighting in. So freaking annoying. At least keep them away from ports. Not only did they harass the Helm liaison for the quest, they're now making it near impossible for me to just port to be able to get over to that defense thing in time. Love it. Some mechanics I wish they would just change. Like, what were they thinking? Like this, I'm in just a full-blown battle for what reason? I just want to go to port. You have these guys hanging around port. That's freaking annoying. If you can't hear the annoyance in my voice. What if some noob was over here just trying to do this quest really quick and all this BS is here? Just want to go to port. This is lame. These guys aren't even worth anything. That's the other frustrating thing. Like, at least be worth something if you're going to cost all that time and ammunition. And that's another gripe is it's kind of hard to get ammunition in this. So you have to treat it like it's gold. Even if you have all the silver in the world, you can't really, like, unless you want to travel to each of these islands and buy three crates of ammunition from each one of these people, which is ridiculous. That's what they expect. Like, okay, yeah, cool, I can buy some ammunition, but 5 crates. Okay, cool. 3 crates. Like, okay, that's 30 torpedoes. Like, get real. Have it be worth your while if that's going to be the expectation for getting ammunition besides crafting it at the blacksmith. But the stuff that you need to craft ammunition, the newer stuff that they keep introducing is more and more expensive with the things that you need, the ammunition that you need to craft, or the requirements to craft that ammunition. So it's like you have to sit here and farm these shipwrecks over and over again for small amounts of ammunition. It's frustrating. Anyway, this is the 60-minute limit, I guess. Until next time.